Have you ever felt stuck in an edit and you just feel it's not working? And not in the, this just needs a little polish way, but in the, something's off and I just can't see it way. For me, I currently have a short film that's in the works. One that we got permits to shoot from the National Forest Service, full crew, awesome actors, multiple days. And here it is, sitting on a couple hard drives, stuck in the edit. I've replayed the same 30 seconds more times than I can count. I've made cuts, I've replaced, I've swapped, I've duplicated timelines, I've started again, I recolored, I'm just making things up to try to figure out what I'm doing. So if you're anything like me, in this video, we're gonna take a step back together. And also through some basic research, apparently you and I are not the first creatives to get stuck mid-project. There's this story that I found of a young artist on a train to New York. He was feeling like everything he had built was just slipping through his fingers. He had just lost his most successful piece of work, and studios were already making money from it. And what he had was nothing. And that's kind of where we might be at. Not on a train to New York looking out the window in the 1920s kind of way, but maybe in an office staring at a tree wondering, I'm about as useless as the bark in that. Maybe that's where we're at. But not in a career-ending way. We still got hope. But when you're in a creative fog, I think we can relate on this. You start to question if you actually know what you're doing. When you've lived inside a story for weeks, or in my case, months, it's hard to tell what's working anymore. And it's because you're not watching it like a viewer, you're watching like the person who shot it, or remembers all the things that happen on shoot day, take 1, take 2, take 3. And I think that's dangerous because sometimes the edit you or I might be searching for isn't actually in the footage. It's only in our heads. So let's pick up with our artist. He's on the train and he starts sketching, slowly writing, figuring things out. He starts sketching something small, something new. It's a mouse. He definitely wasn't sure what it would become, but he knew, just like you and I, he needed to start something. For me, I showed my current short film cut to Elizabeth, the writer on this project and collaborator as a whole. And I truly wasn't looking for the solution, but just a reaction. She didn't give me answers, but she did ask a question I don't actually even remember. What I do remember though is it changed everything. Not because it fixed a scene, but because it let me see it differently. And our artist friend, he brought those early drawings back to his studio. But it wasn't until his closest collaborator stepped in and redrawing, redefining, sharpening, fixing, adjusting, and of course animating, that his mouse started to move. And it didn't click all at once. It was trial and error, but like a snowball, it grew and they had forward motion. So through this story, I'm realizing that a breakthrough isn't a magical stroke of genius. It can just be a conversation, a nudge, a mirror. Because sometimes progress doesn't feel like a aha moment, a light bulb, but instead of that aha, it's a huh. I didn't see it like that. Oh, and that mouse, well, he eventually had a name and a voice. In that moment, when he first whistled on screen, well, that would change animation forever. But don't forget, it all started with being stuck and then letting someone in. So for you, if you're stuck in a creative project, maybe like me, it's not about pushing and breaking through that wall. Maybe it's just about letting someone step in to see what you just stopped noticing. Someone who can help take your scribbled mouse and turn it into something that really moves. Maybe we're not looking for a breakthrough after all. Maybe it's just a collaborator, someone to help us take notes and, of course, keep creating.